All right, a brand new Village Vice. We are DeAndre Carter days away from kickoff between Auburn and Baylor. And kick times have been announced. Well, not kick times, but windows have been announced this week. And so we're going to talk about all of it. I'm Brad Law. He's Zach Blackerby. Where are you?
I'm in a dungeon.
Yeah, it's what it looks like.
I'm in a dungeon right now.
Are you? Hey, blink. What was the name of the guy that like blinked his eyes in Morse code? Because when he needed help, did y'all not watch this in school when you were in school? We watched.
No, I don't know about that, but maybe I should have learned Morse code, I guess. But that's all right.
All right,
that's okay.
All right,
that's okay.
If you need
they were
help,
kind enough to give me a laptop with a webcam and internet. I'm like, I really got to record Village Vice. So like, oh well, in that case, here you go. So
okay, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad they're able to do that.
Hey,
of course.
You mentioned Dre Carter.
Yeah.
How valuable and important do you think Dre Carter is this season? I mean, do you think he's solidly like in the two deep, or do you think there's a chance he could compete for playing time?
I think he's solidly in the two deep. I think that if you had anybody other than Dylan Wade and Jeremiah Wright as the guards, he would be playing a much more I'd feel much more solid about playing time this year. I mean, don't you like now? If something happens with the tackles and Dylan has to get back out and play tackle again, then yeah, I think you see DeAndre Carter to me on a day, and I know it was just practice. I know it was just drills. Yeah. I understand. But man, he's so big and he's so aggressive. Like there's an explosion from him when you watch him. That you love to see from an offensive lineman. So, he was one of the prizes of the recruiting class 2 years ago, but because of the position he plays, we just haven't talked about him a whole lot. And because of what else Auburn has at that position, we just haven't talked about him a whole lot. But yeah, I think it's not out of the realm we could see him this year if some of the other guys have to be moved.
You brought up an interesting hypothetical, which is mainly interesting because it's mid-June when we have this conversation. But as far as, okay, let's say something happens to one of our tackles. Mm-hmm. And let's assume the starters, everybody seems to think Chaplin and Mason Murphy. Mm-hmm. Let's say a tackle goes down. What's more likely? Tyler Johnson or Xavier Miller, too tall, play tackle? Or they scoot Dylan Wade to tackle because of DeAndre Carter?
That's a really good question.
Which, while you're thinking about that, let's just all pause for 2 seconds and be like, oh, this is what depth on the O-line looks like.
Yeah, this is that thing we used to talk about. It's like when Bruce Pearl was the coach at Tennessee, and we were all like, man, if we could get somebody like him, wouldn't that be great? And
yeah, we used to dream for times like this.
That's phenomenal. Because Tyler Johnson is like the future at a tackle spot, or that was the conversation this time a year ago, right? How much everybody loved Tyler.
Keeping Tyler Johnson through the last few transfer windows is a win that no one is talking about, because now it doesn't make sense for him to leave, right? Because the next window that happens, they could say, no, you're the guy. Why would you go somewhere else?
Yeah. Well, and what about Too Tall? Because we are having the discussion a month ago that Too Tall might be a starting tackle.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would start Too Tall over Mason Murphy right now. Uh-huh. I'm on an island. I'm in a dungeon because
clearly
everybody wants to move on to the next thing. But I think Too Tall is better than Mason Murphy. But, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. So to that point, whoever, though, to your point, you have 4 guys in the tackle discussion, and none of them are named Dylan Wade.
Right.
And yet last year when Auburn got into issues at the tackle spot, it was Dylan that moved out again and played some tackle. So I don't know. I love DeAndre Carter as a capable, I think you put your best 5 offensive linemen on the field. So I think it's a great discussion. Who's your best 5
and
offensive
also,
linemen?
I think Dylan Wade wants to play guard. I think he wanted to play guard last year. I think he knows that if he wants to continue to play football after college, it's at guard. Yeah. And so if I was him, I'd want to showcase that as much as possible too. So we'll see. we'll see. But yeah, DeAndre Carter is an important part of this. No question.
No question. And we are DeAndre Carter days away from kickoff. 78. 78. By the way, this is another function of your baseball team being a nationally elite program and your basketball team being a nationally elite program. I remember being young listening to the radio, and the station out of Birmingham used to do football countdown to like its number of days before college football.
Yeah.
And you started paying attention at like 150, 140, 130. Here we are under 80. And I feel like there's a large portion of the Auburn population that's like just now diving into the football pool because basketball goes to the Final Four, baseball wins a regional and hosts a super. Like there's been so much else going on that you're just now starting to dive into it, and we're in the middle of June.
Yeah, no, it has moved quickly. And even, I mean, where there's even been some exciting, like, official visit-heavy weekends. Auburn's got one this weekend that'll certainly be important. I don't know if it'll be electric or exciting, but it is important. And, then July hits, which is the dead period, so it's going to be slow for a few weeks. But then we get media days. And then it's like, okay, let's preview fall camp. And then here we are. We're close. We're close.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Hey, by the way, speaking of recruiting, because I've seen some hand wringing, and my like initial reaction to why is Auburn not ranked a little higher in the 26 class, or why don't they have more commitments? My knee jerk to that is because it's been May and now it's early June, and that's kind of the cycle. Is that fair, or is it a little slower than usual in what you've seen?
I mean, it's slower than usual, no question. But it's slower than usual everywhere.
Okay.
And a lot of that, I think, had to do with the house settlement stuff, which, that seems to be done. They're already getting appeals. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The House versus the NCAA, they're already getting, it took like 24 hours, which is shocking to zero people on the planet.
Right.
But I think you're about to see a lot of it heat up. One, I mean, these kids, they want to take their official visits. And that's certainly part of it. But now they're getting more information from these staffs and agents and representation, where now it's not hypothetical. It's going to make more sense as far as what we can officially offer you. And also, I mean, July 1st is a big day for several reasons. Nike, yay. But also that's when all of this house settlement stuff goes into effect. So my understanding of it, and the people who are close to Auburn's program that I've talked to's understanding of it, which I hope they got this right, is a lot of these agreed upon NIL deals, they're all grandfathered in. Mm-hmm. And so if you're a recruit, you want to go ahead and get all this done before July 1st, because every deal that's done through NIL that's outside of rev share that's over $600, which is all of them. 99% of them, I would think.
Right.
It has to go through this clearinghouse, and like nobody wants to deal with that. No one's looking forward to having to do that because there's going to be inconsistencies. I hope there's not. I just don't trust anybody at this point. Hence why I'm in a dungeon currently. Yeah. But I think that's so I think that's certainly part of it. I think these next 2 weeks, Brad, are going to be very, very busy for everyone, Auburn included.
No, I agree. There's a lot. And think about a month from now when Media Days rolls around, the different conversations that everybody's going to be having around Media Days. It's because the news does, like, we thought the news changed every day or every month, at least. We thought the news changed monthly up until now. And now with appeals and new things coming to light, it'll be even more that way. When we finally get to football,
yes,
Auburn's schedule sets up as well as it has ever set up, in my opinion. And we're going to talk about it after we remind you that today's show brought to you by mybookie.ag. Right now, when you go to mybookie.ag, use promo code BARN, B-A-R-N. That's all. BARN. You'll get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip, all by going to mybookie.ag, signing up using promo code BARN. And they'll take care of you.
Do you want me to do roll back now?
Yeah, let's do
pause was. Yeah,
that's what
also
that
today's
was.
show brought to you by our friends at Roback, Roback.com. I think this is the first day all week where I haven't worn Roback stuff. RHOBACK, Roback.com. They've got all of your collared shirts, all of your quarter zips, all of your hoodies, hats. I think they have shorts and pants. I don't have any of them, but I'm sure they're great. Love the collared shirts. Love the quarter zips. I've got 3 kids right now. I am exhausted. I am like on the brink of consciousness constantly. Nothing like a Roback quarter zip to make it look like your life is put together. So Roback.com, use promo code VICE20 for 20% off your order today.
There you go. And thanks for doing that. It helps the show when you do it, and you just look so much better when you do that. So the kick time windows were announced Wednesday. And we can run through them quickly. I mean, most people have seen them. We already knew the first 3 game times. Oklahoma in Norman is a flex. Flex means either afternoon or night. Means it will not start at 11 a.m. It will not start at noon. It will not start at 1 o'clock. It's afternoon or night. So Oklahoma's a flex. Texas A&M in College Station is an afternoon game. Georgia at home, night game. Pause. What are your thoughts? Georgia at home. It's happened like twice. Or no, this will only be the second time Auburn has hosted Georgia for a night game since the year 2000.
Wow.
Yeah. 2012 was the only other year, but we forget that because it was 2012.
Is that because it's normally the 2:30 game?
Absolutely.
Got it. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize it's been that long. That's crazy.
Yeah. And there were a couple of years. There were a couple of years in the 2000s when it was like 2006 was an 11 a.m. game because
we played there at night.
Yes, had the doubleheader.
I think we played there in the evening at like Stetson Bennett's first.
So we were the 11 a.m. game in 06.
Oh my goodness, our internet's messing up right now. Oh no. I'm going to assume I'm still okay in this dungeon. Whenever I think about kickoff times, I want Auburn's home games to be at night, and I want whenever we're on the road, I want it to be as early as possible. So Texas A&M not being deemed a night game is good. Georgia being deemed an evening game is good. Brad Law, you are fighting to come back, and I am cheering you on so hard.
So are you. Yeah. I've been thinking the same thing about you. I've been over here steady as can be, but it looks like you're fighting. So
who knows?
I don't know if it's the dungeon or the beach.
At the end.
That's right. Hey, comment below if you made it through the fighting through the Wi-Fi signals and you're still with us.
And let us know which connection is better. The one in the dungeon or the one at Brad's beach house.
That's right. Yeah, we played over there at night a bunch of times. I don't know what all you said, but we played over there at night a bunch of times.
I remember like Stetson Bennett's first start.
Yeah. We thought we were going to win that in 2020.
I was like, it's Stetson Bennett. This guy stinks.
Yeah.
No, one of the better college careers that nobody wants to talk about. Yep.
All right, so going through just the rest of these quickly. Missouri at home is a flex, so that's either afternoon or night. At Arkansas is an early kick. We love early kicks on the road.
Agreed.
Kentucky at night is a flex. Vanderbilt in Nashville, afternoon game. Mercer is 1 o'clock at home, and Alabama at home is a flex. So that's either afternoon or night. My very quick takeaway from this, which I love, is that South Alabama and Mercer are relatively early kicks, 11:45 and 1 o'clock. Every other home game on the schedule is either an afternoon kick or a night game. It's the best setup we've had, and we know in the middle of June that it's the best setup we've had for a home schedule in terms of game times in a very long time.
I agree with you. The one downside is, we're going to be fighting for a lot of these recruits and trying to get them on campus. And sure, they'll come to those day games that we're talking about against, Mercer. But you don't get a true, like, Jordan-Hare at home atmosphere until pretty deep into the season. And so I do think from a recruiting standpoint, it's probably not the best case scenario But the counterpoint to that is the best case scenario for recruiting is to win freaking football games. And I do think these help Auburn in most of these cases. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to like duel you to the death on it, but I think your first game at night, I think your season opener at night is going to be it's going to be a pretty electric atmosphere for a Ball State game.
You're right.
Like
I forgot Ball State was at night. You're 100% correct. I'm wrong on this.
And then you have Georgia, which is a night game in the middle of your schedule.
Ball?
Yes.
Not a state.
No.
Ball is life. Ball is not a state.
Ball is not a state. Wright is not a state.
Wright is not a state. Murray is not a state.
No, we love the Racers, but Murray is not a state.
Yep.
Good point. Road games too. I don't like. There are a couple of flex games, but Texas A&M being an afternoon game, fine. Arkansas being an early game, feels like we've played very early there consistently. Like we watched the sunrise come up in Fayetteville inside that stadium a bunch over the last decade.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, in the last 5-6 years, it's been two unimpressive teams going at it. So, yeah. Sadly.
So we love that.
Yeah, because that Arkansas game's important. Like it's probably not talked about a ton, but that's one that could ruin your season if you lose to Arkansas again.
Well, and so much of that is dictated, Zach, by what happens the weeks before.
You're right.
You're coming off home games. You're coming off a bye week after Texas A&M, and then home games against Georgia and Missouri. Do you take momentum into Arkansas? Do you take negative momentum into Arkansas? Do you split those? Like, what's that?
Yeah, and you could say the same about Arkansas, too. Like, is Sam Pittman still employed, or is he just, like, just waiting for the call? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Both of these teams could be in totally different spots from one another if it goes Auburn's way.
No question. I don't know if I have any other thoughts on the schedule. I mean, some of these are going to be like 3:00 SEC network games, and others might be 6. Not all these are going to be primetime ABC type games,
right?
But that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because the second half of the season, it's dark by the time the game ends, and
True.
Primetime's primetime. So I love it. I got really excited when I saw that schedule pop up Wednesday.
No, I think rightfully so. I think you've made a great case on why it's great for Auburn, and I agree with you. I agree.
All right. Big news for the weekend. Tell me what you're like. Give me your. Oh, no. I was supposed to tell you a joke. I'm sorry. That was the next thing.
You're supposed to tell me a joke.
I'm supposed to tell you another joke.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready? Hey, Zach. What's the leading cause of dry skin?
I don't know.
Towels.
You went away for a second. What is it?
Towels.
I think that does it for today's show.
I love this. My favorite is when you're just tired of something. You just go, all right, that's it. That's it.
We're done. Send it out.
Right. Not much else we can add to that. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show. Please subscribe if you haven't. Tell a friend about Village Vice. Maybe not about the jokes. Let them figure that out for themselves. And remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.